Breaking news. Now, by the title of this video, I'm sure everybody is looking at me like, why do I need to watch this video? It's clear by your name on YouTube which way you're gonna lean. And I'm heartbroken, I really am, because I don't want you all to think just because my name is the legendary Hyuga on YouTube and on Twitter that I'm biased. Okay, I'm kind of biased, but I also deal, and anybody who knows me knows that I deal heavily with facts and statistics. So that's pretty much what I'm going to give you here, facts and statistics. But I didn't want this to be like a one-on-one type of ordeal where it's Neji versus Sasuke, and then I have to go through every possible experience where I go through Chunin exams, Neji and Sasuke, Valley of the End, Neji and Sasuke with the curse mark, the beginning of Naruto Shippuden, Neji and Sasuke, the end of Naruto Shippuden, Neji and Sasuke. Like, I'm not going to sit here and go through all of that, even though I'm fully aware that Swag Kage did a video where he compared all of those different Nejis and Sasukes to one another. And while I don't agree with him through the Chunin exams and through the Valley of the End, after Naruto Shippuden onward, Sasuke wins. First half of Naruto, Neji wins. That's how I feel about it. I can make a separate video talking about that if y'all really want to know why I think Neji would win during the Chunin exams and during the Valley of the Ends, but that is not what I'm looking at right here and right now. But before we get into this theory video, go plus ultra, smash that subscribe button. It lets me know that you're rocking with the content that I'm putting out here on this channel. And without further ado, let's get into it. This video is going to focus on all-out war. Clan versus clan. This is a hypothetical battle. This is a hypothetical war. The location is going to be the same location as the 4th Great Ninja War, but there's only 2 clans on the field. 100,000 Hyuga versus 100,000 Uchiha. Now, for the sake of this video, we're going to have some limitations. And basically, the limitations are there because, I mean, realistically, the Sharingan and all of its upgrades comes with a lot of sacrifices, and you all know what I mean. Like, to get the Mangekyo Sharingan, you have to watch somebody you love die. Well, if there's 100,000 Uchiha on the battlefield and everybody who has the Mangekyo Sharingan has to watch someone they love die, essentially that's gonna cut the forces on the battlefield in half. So I'm not just gonna give everybody the Mangekyo Sharingan that's an Uchiha, and the Mangekyo Sharingan is extremely rare. The Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan requires you to switch eyes with a relative or a sibling. Like, they have to be blood related to you in order for you to unlock the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, which is further sacrificing Uchihas on the other side. So basically, Byakugan versus 3 Tomoe Sharingan. That's what all 100,000 of each side has, right? Hyugas, Byakugans, Uchiha, 3 Tomoe Sharingans. Let's get into this. I want to break this down into 4 different categories of what it is that I want to address. I want to address the Genjutsu factor. I want to address the Ninjutsu factor. I want to address the Taijutsu factor, and I want to address the Chakra Reserves factor when it comes to comparing who would win in this all-out war between the Hyugas and the Uchiha. Now, let's start this off with the Genjutsu factor. This is something that everybody should know, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it anyway. The Hyuga will easily and without question get a point for this. Now, I have heard people debating this for some time now on Twitter, on Facebook, on IG, and I'm here to say first and foremost that Genjutsu does not affect the Byakugan. It just doesn't. I'm pretty on point when it comes to Hyuga knowledge, but that's just because I love their clan from the very first time I saw them on Naruto when I was a kid. Like, this is the shit that I would want if I was in the Naruto verse, even to this day. But Genjutsu does not affect the Byakugan, but it's really not in the way that people think. The Hyuga no longer see traditional images that the brain produces that you and I would see in our everyday lives. Instead of seeing traditional images, they start to see the chakra network, something similar to how snakes see heat signatures and can register heat signatures, right? They're still able to see per se, but the pictures and images are registered as something completely different. Now, in this case with the Hyuga, what they see is chakra as it flows through everything in every living organism, right? They can see it in the trees, they can see it in the grass, they can see it in people. Now, there are Now, there are examples of this throughout the series to corroborate this defense. The first incident that I'm about to bring up is when Neji and Hinata had their fight, right? This is when we start to learn the most about the Hyuga clan and about the Byakugan and what it does and how it works from the Jonin and Rock Lee. And they're basically narrating the fight to us as Neji and Hinata fight on the ground. We start to see the chakra networks. We see through the eyes of a Hyuga. We see how the gentle fist style of Taijutsu affects the body, but we're going to get into Taijutsu later. I'm talking specifically what it is they see and how it is perceived and why Genjutsu just wouldn't work on them, right? They see just the chakra network. A second example of this is when we look at, what's the bodyguard's name from the Hidden Mist Village, the one that has the stolen Byakugan? You know who I'm talking about, the old dude that has the eye patch, right? Him. We learned from him that while he was looking at Danzo, he noticed something that was off about Danzo. So he activated his Byakugan and he looks at Danzo and he notices that Shisui's Mangekyo's chakra is flowing through Danzo's covered eye. And with just that one panel, that validates that a Byakugan can see when a Genjutsu is being utilized, right? So Genjutsu, at this point, to me, is null and void. It just is. But my third example is when we saw in the filler arc when Neji and his team are retaking the tuning exams at the Hidden Sand Village and they're wandering the desert. And Neji detects that something was wrong then. They've been wandering the desert for so long, they were wondering why they haven't seen anything new or why everything looks the same. So what does he do? He activates his Byakugan and he saw the flower that was infused with Genjutsu chakra, and it was that flower that was emitting the illusion that kept them wandering in circles. Once he saw it, he went over to the flower, he crushed it, and the Genjutsu was dispersed. And so, yes, the Byakugan has to be activated to prevent Genjutsu from not being used, but to be able to see through a Genjutsu, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, well, what does this mean? Well, in a one-on-one situation, it's the same thing. I mean, Byakugan wins in a 1v1 against an Uchiha if they try to use Genjutsu. But in a war situation, the Hyuga's guards would always be up. The Byakugan is always going to be activated, and there's literally no time for the Uchiha to even use Genjutsu. So for everybody who's saying Genjutsu this and Genjutsu that, they're literally the only people in the world that can stare an Uchiha in the eye and not have to worry about Genjutsu affecting them. Now, in closing this argument of Genjutsu, as it factors into this clan war, a lot of people believe that the Genjutsu is underutilized within the Naruto series, and they would be right. I mean, they're honestly right. Kishimoto realized what he had done when he specified what a Genjutsu's weakness is. In order to break a Genjutsu, other shinobi, all they would have to do is to force their chakra through the person affected by the Genjutsu, and that's all it takes, and it would instantly break it. Which is why when we saw Sasuke put Killer Bee into a Genjutsu with his Mangekyo Sharingan. Actually, when he put Killer Bee into that Genjutsu, it was instantly broken by the Eight Tails. The Eight Tails continuously circulates his own chakra through Killer Bee's system, and in a war situation, there would be so many people on the battlefield. I mean, we're talking about 100,000 versus 100,000. It would be cakewalk to have another ninja in my clan to break a Genjutsu that was casted upon me. And lastly, the person who is casting the Genjutsu isn't allowed to move. We've never seen someone cast a Genjutsu and move at the same damn time. We haven't. We've seen a Genjutsu reversal where Itachi reverses the Genjutsu on Kurenai, but once they snap back to reality, Kurenai just can't move, and Itachi never moved his feet either. The same thing happened with Sasuke versus Itachi and Kakashi versus Obito when they had their little Genjutsu fight, respectfully, during the war arc and when it was the final battle between Sasuke and Itachi. Now, even when Itachi caught Kakashi in Tsukiyomi, they weren't moving at all. The only reason that Asuma didn't rush Itachi was Kizame was there, but he wasn't allowed to move. As soon as he moved, the Genjutsu was over. They're just too vulnerable when they cast the Genjutsu for it to be properly utilized in a war setting. And just to reiterate, keep in mind, the location is the location that was used for the 4th Great Shinobi War. So that's all I have in terms of the Genjutsu factor in my argument. I have to give the edge to the Hyuga clan in this situation because one, Genjutsu is just useless on its own, and there's too many examples of the Hyuga breaking Genjutsu. I did the review of Itachi's light novel. Itachi and Shisui both went up against a Hyuga at the same damn time. It's the only instance that we know of in this entire series where a Hyuga and an Uchiha fought each other. Genjutsu was used, and it didn't do shit to the Hyuga, like at all. I have the review on my channel. Like, it didn't do shit at all. It took Shisui using his Mongekyo Sharingan's ability, the world's strongest Genjutsu, to stop this man. But, I'm not just going to equip every Uchiha with that level of Genjutsu. Do you understand? Moving on. The second factor that I want to go over is the Taijutsu factor. Now, I want to cover this, but I don't feel the need to go as in depth because of how blatant it was stated within the manga and the anime that the Hyuga's gentle fist style of Taijutsu is the purest and most effective form of Taijutsu within the Konoha village. Well, what does that mean? That means that nobody is fucking with the Hyugas when it comes to throwing hands. Do you understand what I'm saying? This was stated by Might Guy and Rock Lee. Well, it was stated by Might Guy. So, if Might Guy is saying it, that means he lived at a time when the Uchiha were still prevalent within the village. You see what I'm saying? So he already knows. If he's comfortable enough saying that and Kakashi doesn't check him with that statement, it goes without saying that the gentle fist style of Taijutsu is the strongest form of fighting within the Leaf Village. Is it possible an Uchiha could possibly best a Hyuga in hand-to-hand combat? It is entirely possible. You know what I mean? Like, I could see somebody fucking up Hinata. I really can. Like, easily. Not easily. I'm not going to say it's easily. She even managed to get like 2 hits in on Neji. So it's not impossible to hit a Hyuga. What I'm saying is you don't want to rely. You don't want to have to rely on Taijutsu when fighting a Hyuga. I would expect the Uchiha to try to utilize mid to long range techniques for as long as possible until inevitably it comes down to hand-to-hand combat. Their strategy would be to launch as many long-range fire techniques before they ever get anywhere within striking distance. And if a Hyuga is using 64 palm or 128 palm, their range is it's really mid-range. If you really think about it, the 128 palm reaches very far. But to further validate this, I have to bring up Neji and Sasuke. I just have to because it was talked about, right? It's a crime that Kishimoto never actually gave us a Hyuga and Itachi fight in the main canon of Naruto. But it was stated by Kakashi during the Chunin exams when Neji and Hinata was fighting that if Sasuke fought Neji at this point in time, Neji would win. It is what it is. And this is during the Chunin exams, right? So that's kind of like when I was watching Swag Kage's video and he said that Sasuke would beat Neji during the Chunin exams. It was like Kakashi has already stated that Neji would wipe the floor with Sasuke, and they were kind of shitting on Neji. I'm not mad. I'm just stating facts. Like, they were actually shitting on Neji during the Chunin exams. It was like, you really think a 2 Tomoe Sasuke would stand a chance against a Neji that knows the 64 palm and the 128 palm? This man couldn't even keep up with Rock Lee. And I'm talking about the Sasuke knowing the Chidori. Like, when we saw him fight Neji, he would get absolutely destroyed by Neji mid-diff, if that. He can only use the Chidori twice. And Neji can rotate QB Chakra. That's what I'm telling you. Like, no. But we're going to get back to this 100v100. I'm not about to dive into that. Like I said, if you want a separate video with my thoughts on Neji versus Sasuke specifically, then y'all got to drop likes and put comments because I'm not going to do it any other way. The Taijutsu debate is not a debate. The Hyugas are going to beat the Uchiha when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. Why do I say this? Yes, they are all equipped with 3 Tomoe Sharingans, and that does add to their visual perception of their opponents and their movements. But what is failed to be realized in this debate is that perception is all the Byakugan does. Like, that's the only thing it does, and it does it better than the Sharingan. You're not going to get me to believe that the Sharingan's perception is better than Byakugan's perception when they have 360-degree vision. They have no blind spots. Yes, I understand they have that one blind spot between the vertebrae, but the space between a vertebrae is the width of a dime. So, unless they're firing arrows from from like kilometers away. I forget his name, but the dude in the Sound Ninja 4 was kilometers away with adequate cover. There is no adequate cover where they had the 4th Great Shinobi War. You see what I'm saying? So basically, in this situation, there are no blind spots with the Hyuga. Their perception, like I said, is 360 degrees. They can see kilometers away. A Byakugan wins in the perception category. They both see perception, but the Sharingan is not touching the Byakugan. Point blank, period. The Hyugas will still reign supreme. And Rock Lee mentioned something very, very prevalent. Just because you're able to see movements does not mean you'll be able to react to those movements. That's just to reiterate. You see what I'm saying? Like, sure, you can see it, but can you react to it? Are you able to stop it? They could see the 64 palms coming. Can you react to it? You can see the 128 palms coming, but can you react to it? Neji, this is my thing. If you're not able to beat number 2 on the team, Rock Lee, you're not going to be able to beat number 1. Keep this in mind. Neji, Tenten, and Might Guy were not surprised when Rock Lee dropped his weights. Go back and rewatch the episode. I don't even think Neji opened his eyes. His eyes were still closed at this point. Neji was not surprised when the weights dropped, which means he's fought Lee without weights. He was surprised when the gates opened. In conclusion, even if I want to play devil's advocate and say that the Sharingan and Byakugan have the same level of perception and are tied, which I don't, that doesn't change the fact that the gentle fist style of Taijutsu within this part of the argument reigns supreme over normal Uchiha Taijutsu. You can train your muscles and exterior body, but the gentle fist style attacks are designed to attack your internal organs. My guy said during the tuning exam, you cannot train your internal organs. Do not forget that Hyuga, Hinata's father, killed the hidden cloud ninja with one strike to his heart when he tried to kidnap Hinata during that whole incident after the war. Please keep that in mind. I'm not saying they would get one-shotted. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Hinata took 2 hits to the heart in her fight against Neji and almost died. Just 2 hits to the heart. If this war does come down to a close proximity fight, which you can almost guarantee because that's the Hyuga specialty, they're going to try to get in close, I see the Hyuga coming out on top 8 out of 10 times. I want to specify that I'm making this whole hypothetical fight Joning level, right? They're all Joning level. Now, well, for that one, I give the edge to the Hyuga again. Now, look, I get it. I really do. Hopefully you're still listening at this point in time, but I get that I'm coming off as a Hyuga fanboy. I really do. But at the end of the day, Hyugas are the shit. I hope you're typing up your debate for each individual section that I have just given you. Do not give me a long drawn-out debate. Give me one for Genjutsu. Give me one for Taijutsu. You can give me one for Ninjutsu and Chakra Reserves Factor, okay? You can give me separate ones for all those if you believe Uchiha are going to make something shake with Genjutsu or Taijutsu, which I just don't know how you're going to defend. Ninjutsu Factor. Okay, here we go. In the Ninjutsu department, I'm going to be honest with you, this is going to come down to a matter of if the Uchiha can actually hit the Hyuga with Ninjutsu before it turns into a matter of close combat fights with Taijutsu. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, the Byakugan, it ranges. How far a Byakugan user can see depends about how far they've trained. I believe Hinata could see about 10 kilometers ahead of her, but I think Neji's range was like 20 kilometers. I could be wrong. That's why what's-his-name from the Sound Ninja 4 had to like stand so far back when he was shooting his arrows, because if he didn't, Neji could see him for kilometers away. You see what I'm saying? Like, he could see him for kilometers away. It's not a matter about having long-range jutsus. Yes, they're going to get some off. I believe so. You have to be able to work within their field of vision. You see what I'm saying? Like, you have to blind them somehow, and they just don't have a blind spot. They just don't. They're going to see you weaving your hand signs. They're going to know where it's coming from even before you cast the damn jutsu. I don't see how you're going to fight this. Really, I don't. But I'm not going to sit here and say that the Uchiha don't win this department. Uchiha, I give them the edge in the ninjutsu department because while most Hyugas utilize wind nature chakra, you see that a lot with the air palms, Uchiha utilize fire nature chakra, and fire nature chakra is superior to air nature chakra. So, like I said, the Uchiha have a better pool of ninjutsu. Fireball, Grand Fireball, Dragon Flame Bomb, Phoenix Flower. Even they've utilized Lightning Chakra as well. So you see what I'm saying? Like, they have a lot going for them, but then it's really gonna. But this is not gonna be easy for them because, like I tell you, the Hyugas have that rotation. And Swag Kage talked about the rotation, but like I've said before, he really downplayed the rotation. Like, keep this in mind. At the lowest level of QB chakra, Neji rotated the QB's chakra and won. If he didn't win that chakra standoff, Neji would have been knocked on the ground. Point blank period. He was still standing. He thought that he won. He successfully rotated the QB's chakra. To what degree is that going to help him? Well, if you can rotate QB chakra, you can rotate a fireball. Like I stated earlier, they talked about a Chidori versus a rotation. Well, the Hyugas utilize wind nature chakra. Wind nature chakra beats lightning nature chakra. So Sasuke with the Chidori is at a disadvantage against a rotation. Point blank period. Sorry. But in this situation, I'm not going to drag this out because, I mean, the Uchiha are going to have to spam long to mid-range fire style jutsus to take out as many Hyugas as they can. And that's assuming if they're running at each other head on, which I don't believe would happen. I mean, it might happen, but I'd like to believe there's some strategy in this fight. But I don't want to drag this on longer than what it needs to be. I give the edge to the Uchiha in the ninjutsu factor. Now let's get into the chakra reserves factor, which I've never heard Swag Kage or anybody really talk about before. I haven't seen every debate out there, but from what I have seen, I've never heard the chakra reserves factor be talked about. This is an entire possibility that somebody, if not both parties, run out of chakra. It's just what it is. I mean, Sasuke was very prone to running out of chakra in the first half of Naruto. Kakashi, when he used his Sharingan, was very prone to running out of chakra. In fact, he had to keep his Sharingan covered because the Sharingan constantly eats away at your chakra when you have it activated. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not something that you can keep constantly activated. To the best of my knowledge, I've never, and I did a good amount of research for this video, the Byakugan doesn't take chakra to activate or to deactivate. I mean, Hinata was basically on her deathbed and could activate her Byakugan. Throughout the entire war, even when she was fighting Neji, her Byakugan just, all she had to do was squint hard as a bitch and her Byakugan's turned on. The Sharingan actually does take chakra to activate. It takes chakra to maintain the Mangekyo Sharingan. It takes chakra to hold everything that a Sharingan does. And then, not to mention that, when it comes to chakra reserves, the Gentle Fist style of Taijutsu uses a very little amount of chakra. They don't have to use a large pool of chakra to cut off your chakra network. But what does take a lot of chakra is the fire style techniques that the Uchiha use. If it comes down to who runs out of chakra first, I can quite confidently say that the Uchiha are going to utilize all of their chakra before the Hyuga. Once that happens, and they run out of chakra to use fire style techniques, once they run out of chakra to maintain their Sharingan, it is going to be a Hyuga frenzy out there when they open up cans of whoop ass on the fucking Uchiha. That is what I'm telling you. Let me play devil's advocate one more time for the Uchiha fans who might come into the comment section. Let's assume, hypothetically, that both sides run out of chakra. Hyugas run out of chakra. Uchiha runs out of chakra. The Hyugas still have Taijutsu to fall back on. They do. And like I stated at the beginning of this video in the Taijutsu section, it has been stated that the Gentle Fist style of Taijutsu is Konoha's most efficient fighting style. The same way that the Uchiha train in the fireball technique and utilizing different fire styles and throwing kunai, but kunai never do shit in Naruto, so don't plan for anybody to die by a kunai or a shuriken, no matter how fancy the technique is. The same way they do all that training is the same way that the Hyugas practice Taijutsu day in and day out. That's all they do, Taijutsu, and the rotation. Even the 64 palm is a style of Taijutsu. The 128 palm is a style of Taijutsu. And just in case we're unaware, every time they go up with the 64 palm to 128 palm, the speed doubles. So if they don't hit their mark with the 64 palm, they're going to hit their mark with the 128 palm. The Uchiha do not have 360-degree vision. What they see in front of them is all they see. Which means if a Hyuga gets behind you, there's almost nothing you can do without someone calling it out, or, just ninja perception. If a Hyuga gets surrounded by an Uchiha, by multiple Uchiha, rotation. We've seen it happen. Just rotate. Hiyashi did it during the war with all the white Zetsus. Rotation. That's it. They're not limited to how many... Well, they are limited, but they have a good-ass pool of how much they can really do. When it comes to chakra reserves, I have got to give the edge to the Hyuga. I don't think I'm missing a category with this. Like I said at the beginning, I can't just give everybody the Mangekyo Sharingan. It requires too much for somebody to unlock the Mangekyo Sharingan. And even once you unlock it, you have to master Tsukiyomi and Amaterasu separately. And then you have to master Susanoo. But it could honestly be a detriment because, one, it's eating more chakra, and two, you're going blind every time you use them. You see what I'm saying? Itachi got sick and was dying because of how much he used Tsukiyomi. Every time they use it, they cough up blood. Their eyes start to bleed. Itachi's sickness was from his Sharingan. But look, I have dragged this video out as long as I can. I have touched on every point that I could possibly think of between Genjutsu, Ninjutsu, Taijutsu, and I even included a Chakra Factor because chakra is not infinite within Naruto. If you are new and you made it to the end, thank you so much. I did a lot of research into this video. Yes, I came across as a Hyuga fanboy, but that doesn't change the fact that the Byakugan reigned supreme until Kishimoto started giving all these unnecessary upgrades. I'm just being honest with you. I really am. 3 Tomoe Sharingan versus base level Byakugan. Base level Byakugan wins. Hyuga wins. 100,000 Hyuga versus 100,000 Uchiha. Who takes the cake? Location, 4th Great Shinobi War, desert area, place. The Hyuga come out on top. If you are new, please subscribe. If you rock with the content, go plus ultra on that subscribe button. Like, comment, and share. And like always, keep it safe or wrap it tight. I'm out.